Hey everybody, it's time for another video intro. Only this time, it's time for another. It's time for this time for another video intro for my Doug Rants on social and current social past and current events and various terrible people and accidents that have happened to to unfortunate people. It's time for another one of those. I recorded a new one in 2000. I recorded a new one in 2021 with one of my, with two of my real life superhero Douglas Blair Roberts working class costumes. Here is another one of my gimmicky, flamboyant, exaggerated, over the top costumes. And this look right here is my rock and roll sports look, which is my boxing, Muay Thai, Sanda, full contact kickboxing, ball player, ball vehicle, combat sports athlete, rock and roll, sweatsuit attire with the sweat jacket open, a tank top with or without tank top. I'm wearing a tank top in this shot, with or without a tank top, gym trunks, and double socks, and sandals. This look also comes with knee pads and spandex. I don't have the spandex yet, but I don't feel like wearing the knee pads, so just the double socks and sandals, and with gloves, and of course my shades. I also wear, this is not part of the outfit, but I also wear my COVID mask on my chin, because I'm dealing with these days. I'm dealing with a nasal congestion, sinus infections, allergies, and a cold since the weather has dropped, and I need the COVID mask to breathe without sneezing and suffering uncontrollably, and to also protect myself from various other colds and other people's colds, and keep people protected from me. This video will also be the first time that I not only come out to the traditional Sonic What I'm Made Of. Actually, the Sonic What I'm Made Of will play first, but I will make my entrance to a pro wrestler theme. To see what that theme is, you gotta wait till I start the intro. So, with that being said, let's get this party started right now. Let's show these people what I'm made of. Let me show you who I am and what I'm here for. Here for. Hey, trying to reach inside of me, trying to gain my energy. Let me show you just what I'm made of. Simple curiosity.
what I'm made of now. Get up, I'll never let up. Ferocious, I'm fed up, dismissing the competition. You're hopeless, I trash their ambition. Listen, you wanna pass on tradition or one condition? Forget the best of the century. Talk about the best of all time, you better mention me. Essentially, I'm the best that's ever gonna be. I hold my ground, you never take it from under me. Don't run to me, so I'll be trouble. I hit you so many times, you see triple or double instead of one of me. I got more heart, more weight to tear you apart. I lay you down early on, or maybe in the later round. It's no different to me. If you tap out, cash out, or suddenly pass out for free. Cause you're face down, really, you're barely alive. Cause I'm an animal inside, hear me? What the game is supposed to be, hopefully you see what I mean. Knock you out, haven't seen, you were beaten by a triple team. Box you out the whole scene and gleam. The limelike's my dream, I shine bright. Smash you, front to back, you gon' need hindsight. In fact, when I attack, you're lucky if I leave you intact. I'm prone to overkill, I work you over till I steal your motor skills. It's the same, whenever I'm done, you're numb, hold a thumb. And folks can't remember their name, or where they're from. And some speechless, stunned, looking deaf and dumb. You're weak like 7 days, you dead afraid, I'm amazed. What? Y'all still step up, cause I hit more men than Jenna Jameson in better days. You can't clear your heads, you with a Jenna Haze.
Hey everybody, this is my third rant on amateur and professional wrestling. This is a remake of the previous video I did, because the previous one ended up being way too long. To see that version, which will be uploaded without an intro, the links will be in the description box below. But this is the newer, shorter version, and like I said, I'm gonna do the first part off camera and the final part on camera. This like I said, this is the third. This third one is just like the second one. This is my rant on amateur and professional wrestling as a real life superhero, wearing my boxing Muay Thai Sanda full contact kickboxing ball vehicle combat sports one of my combat sports costumes. So yeah, amateur and professional wrestling. Despite being a huge professional wrestling fan, despite being an accomplished amateur wrestler of my own, I have a huge problem with wrestlers, and the biggest problem I have with them is that they're bullies. They're bullies. Not only they're bullies, but they're pussies. Yes, I compete in a full contact sport like wrestling, and also watch a violent full contact sport like professional wrestling on TV, and I'm complaining about bullies. I'm sick of these lame wrestlers who do what anyone who actually trains can do. Anyone who actually trains do. Always hazing and bullying wrestlers. By the way, bullying wrestlers and athletes who can't or won't fight back, but crying like a little bitch, or getting old or backing down when they encounter someone who can fight or can wrestle. Sorry about that. Can wrestle better than them they do, and does other things to hold them down and ruin their life or career. Then I'm also sick of these wimpy wrestlers in the underwear and tights wrestling, especially the high school and WWE wrestlers, winning a bunch of high school matches and all of a sudden thinking they're the best, thinking they're hot shit, and they're the best wrestler in the world. They're the ultimate fighter. The WWE was even worse, because WWE is fake. These wrestlers, they be letting these scripts, these fake wins, titles, all go to their head and think they're the badass and think they're the badass they play on television. Then some of them's lame tough guy rep comes from beating up legitimately injuring and beating up wrestlers and doing awesome stuff in fake fights, in fake fake fights. And once again, they bully and beat up wrestlers who can't or won't fight back. But if it's a violent, but when a real fighter, a real wrestler, an athlete steps in there and shows them up, they either back down or they get on and cry, like I said, cry like a little bitch. That's what I'm getting sick of. This video is also a rant on an incident that happened back in high school that became the inspiration for my Douglas Blair Roberts YouTube social media personality, actor, character, controversial character I created in late 2018, mid to late 2018. There were multiple incidents, but this was one of the biggest incidents. I have a strange relationship with my family, especially my dad for an incident involving my coach and the wrestling team, and I absolutely hate my coach. Never forgave my coach for this. And like I said in the previous one, a decade later, the elder gods answered my prayers and settled my anger, because that coach who badly mistreated me when I was a wrestler was fired, and they got rid of the wrestling team at the school. And I look at it this way: if I can't have the championship, no one can. Like I've said in plenty of previous videos, I'm not going to show off the medals and trophies, because I already did that. And if you follow me on Facebook, I have multiple photos showing you that. And if you watch the narration version, the trophies and stuff, the pictures and of me with the Letterman jackets, trophies and awards and stuff, they will be in the short narration on intro on my Doug 8798 channel, leading you to this video for those of you who are not already on this channel. But yeah, like I said in the previous one, I wrestled from late 2004 through 2008. I wasn't that good, wasn't that bad either. Now, I never did any. Now, I've won several awards, but I never accomplished anything big like Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Bret the Hitman Hart, Don Fry, MMA fighters Don Fry, Randy Couture, Mark Coleman or Tom Erickson. Those wrestlers. My amateur wrestling career was similar to the amateur careers of Jeff Hardy, professional wrestlers Jeff Hardy, Rob Van Dam, the late Eddie Guerrero, and The Rock, who won like myself, accomplished and won several awards, but they really weren't that good at amateur wrestling. Their calling was some other sport or some other martial art. Yeah, that's what my amateur wrestling career was similar to. You don't even hear about their amateur wrestling careers because it's not part of their characters. It's not part of their characters or gimmick. You have to research to learn that they did amateur wrestlers. They did amateur wrestling. Amateur wrestling. So that's when I won numerous I won numerous awards. My best year was my 10th grade. My 10th grade year. My 10th grade year, and my worst year was my 11th grade year, which is also actually one of my favorites alongside my 12th grade year. But other than that, whole wrestling experience was miserable, and I'm embarrassed I was part of the team. But there was a lot of good. There was a lot of good to go with the bad. But there was one bad thing, and this bad thing was so bad. I'm training to return to amateur wrestling to rewrite this wrong that took place later in my career. later in my career. Yeah. So with that being said, let me get started right now. Yeah. I wrestled from late 2004 freshman year all the way to early 2008 senior year. Senior year. Wasn't that good my first year. I barely wrestled my first year. I couldn't beat the guy in my weight class at practice, and most of my wins were forfeits. Unlike basketball and football, this is a combat sport, so it's weight class. So if there's not another wrestler there to beat me, I won by forfeit. I only beat 2 actual wrestlers in an actual match by points. That was MLK, a female from MLK, and a male from Riverdale. My breakout year ended up being my 10th grade. Ended up being my 10th grade year. My biggest issue in the early part of my career was, like I said, I fear no man or woman, but I fear failure, losing. I hated and feared failure, losing, letting the team down, and letting my friends down. So when I wrestled, I was always timid, weak, and scared. I was wrestling not to embarrass myself, not to lose, 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 and not to lose, and not to yeah, not to let people down. Instead of going out there, showing off, having fun. It's a wrestling match. A wrestling match. Have fun. I hate how serious I was about wrestling in the beginning. Beginning, it took me 2.5 years to explain to accept this. So amateur wrestling. So yes, amateur wrestling. So yes, my 10th grade year. My 10th grade was my breakout year. I won at the Derwin Brown Invitational, a tournament hosted by Miller Grove High School. I earned my first bronze medal. And by the way, my character, I call myself the champion in multiple videos, but in actuality, I'm only a champion with the team. Most of my awards, most of my trophies are special achievement awards, and worse, these are the ones I can't stand. The special achievement awards I like, but the ones I can't stand are participation trophies, the ones you get for being on the team. I hate those. I don't show those much in the video. And all of my medals are bronze and silver medals. Never won first in anything, and I'm only a champion with the team championship. Since wrestling's a combat sport, there's individual champions, then there's team trophy champions. So yeah. So wrestling. When I then later, when I won my first silver medal and qualified for state, the biggest win, defeating Jonesboro, the biggest win of my career, the biggest accomplishment of my career. I hated the way it's an accomplishment. It's a stale accomplishment. I hated the way it was obtained. See, prior to being chosen to represent, prior to being chosen to be on the team, to be on the varsity, the early 2006 varsity squad for the region championships. I was looking to retire from wrestling because it was becoming way too frustrating. I wasn't winning as much as I was when I started the season, and I just couldn't deal with the pressure. So couldn't deal with the pressure and hated losing. So I tried to retire, but I did stay behind since I had a good relationship with the team at the time. Stay behind to help them practice. To help them practice and prepare. For
to prepare for just in case they needed a sparring partner for the region and the state championships. The coach put me on the team, but he put me on the team, number one, to field the team because he didn't want to sacrifice the points. Number two, he put me on. I wanted to be on the team because I was good, not because you need to field the team. Two, my coach, he was good friends with my mom, and three, because of good behavior. I wanted to be recognized for my skill and be there because I was the best wrestler for the job, like everyone else. Well, everyone else. That's another thing I feared that ruined my career. I feared being a phony, that I kept putting pressure on myself to train harder and win, and you didn't win, and you just couldn't take it. Take it, and eventually just had to accept failure. And quit. I still wrestled more after quitting, but I was never the same wrestler again. My worth ethic and willingness to my worth ethic and everything else. My worth ethic and passion, it was just gone. But I'll get to that in a minute. When I get to the downfall. So when I won and qualified for state, it was the best win ever. But I was determined to stay there and get back there. Maybe next time actually get first. Yeah, I placed second. I beat Jonesboro, but I lost to Columbia. And I was quickly eliminated at the state championships, showing that it was a fluke. The guy I beat him because of superior conditioning, and I even acknowledged it when it was over and told him he was the better wrestler. I showed respect and told him he was the better wrestler. I just took advantage of him being tired and stuff. So Then we get senior year. Then we get senior year. Then we get senior year. So during the summer, I signed up for the USA wrestling team. And this is my favorite type of wrestling: Greco-Roman and freestyle. Wrestling, in my opinion, should stay in the Olympics and athletic clubs. It should not be in school. A violent contact sport should not be in school. I hate how lame and watered down high school and collegiate wrestling was. I despise and hate high school more, because at least collegiate wrestling, that's still a world-class level. High school wrestling, my opinion, is weak, wimpy, and lame. But that, along with collegiate, is the most popular, even though the Olympic and athletic clubs of wrestling is what amateur wrestling actually was. This was the most fun I ever had. I had more fun during the summer than I did during the school year. Wrestling and training with a lot of people. I won numerous silver and bronze medals, but my favorite award is, I showed it off in the last video and I'm pointing to it right now, is the big Wrestler of the Year coach award that the coach chose me for. He awarded to me. There were so many better wrestlers on that team, but the coach recognized my skills, my talent. The coach recognized my skills and talents and chose me to represent the team. He chose me because of my worth ethic, even though there were way better people on the team. He chose me, and the coach, he had a huge inspiration in my career. I wonder where he is today. He and the award. Every time I quit wrestling, he inspired me to come back and at least try it again, man. Try it again. And one of the reasons I want to try it one last time. But see, I completed my training under him, and I wanted to become I was looking to become an Olympic. I was looking to become an elite varsity wrestler. I treated myself like an elite varsity wrestler, but the truth was, I was a junior varsity who got lucky, and now I had a chance to be the junior varsity mid-card champion. I wanted the main event. I was an 11th grader. I wanted the main event. Junior varsity is for 9th and 10th graders and rookies and new guys, not experienced vets like I was by this point in my own careers. However, the first semester, I lost the first several matches, only defeating only winning 2 of them, and both of them were against rookies. They were varsity matches, but they were against rookies. The first was Columbia, the second was in Fayetteville, County. I badly choked at the Fayetteville County championship tournament. Right when I was this close to winning a first place, finally winning first place. All I had to do was beat the first guy. All I had to do was beat the second guy. Then I would have been in the finals, which would have guaranteed me already a championship, 1 through 4, but I could 1 through 4, and then I just had to beat the last guy, and I would have been the worst guy. I choked hard because the pressure got to me. I feared losing, so I came out strong. The loss of the second guy, I was furious. I was so bad. I took it out on the teacher. The following Tuesday, ended up in in-school suspension. I bumped and swung at a teacher and ended up in in-school suspension for a week and a half. And the coach, because I couldn't wrestle the Tiger Classic, which the Stockbridge wrestling tournament, which I never got a chance to wrestle because I wasn't good enough. My 12th grade year and 11th grade year, I got in trouble. The coach decided as punishment, and I hate him for this because he was going to do this anyway. He took me off of the varsity squad and bumped a new wrestler up to my spot with no wrestle off or anything, and went to the county without me. Now, he used the excuse that I got in trouble in school, but he was going to do this anyway. Me getting in trouble allowed him to use that excuse. He was going to do this anyway. He was going to let me wrestle at these weaker, smaller tournaments. But the big time tournaments like county, oh no, he has to alter the lineup, and I hate him and never forgave him for that. And he won without me, which I never forgave him for. So then, the next big match, I didn't want to wrestle this one, the area duels match. Yeah, this was a special region championship because instead of the individual tournament, it was a team tournament with only a trophy at the end. Now, I didn't want to wrestle this, but I felt I had to because 3 of the star wrestlers were competing here. That was Lakeside, Maris, and Tucker. Now, I lost my opening match against Miller Grove, and the coach did something I didn't even know he could do, and I damn sure not have came to this match knowing he did this. I didn't even want to come to this match. He forced me to wrestle this match. The first match was Maris. He for punishment for not making weight, he bumped 2 other wrestlers up. He bumped 2 of my teammates up he changed the lineups and bumped 2 of my teammate wrestlers up to face the two wrestlers I was supposed to face as punishment. But it wasn't punishment because the 2 wrestlers on my team destroyed those wrestlers. And since I never got a chance to wrestle, well, I've wrestled Tucker before and I've actually beat him. He's beaten me. But the Maris and the Lakeside wrestlers, since I never got to wrestle those 2, I had no way to prepare for them. I knew if I ever made it back to varsity, I would have to face them again. So after losing my next big match, my next 2 matches, which are 2 of my favorites, which were against Cedar Grove and Stone Mountain. Cedar Grove was the biggest one because I met this guy during the summer. This guy was a rival of mine. I met him during the summer wrestling team, during the summer USA wrestling team, and I knew during the school year I would encounter him again, and I did. And this was my last big match. After losing this match, I never cared much for wrestling again because I trained so hard for this guy and still came up short. Still came up short. And because I lost this one and the next one, Stone Mountain, in front of the school. And by the way, I was the only one to lose because Stone Mountain and Cedar Grove, especially Cedar Grove, by this point, they were average wrestling teams. with only one or maybe two star players, and the guy on the Grove team, I got the best. The wrestler I lost to, he was the star player of the team. He was the star player of the team, and I was the only one to lose in front of the school. So after this, I really stopped. Despite this was one of my all-time favorite matches, even though it was the worst day of my career. It was one of my favorites because I debuted, since I didn't have the talent of my teammates, talent or strength of my teammates, I debuted some cool, long, gray and red socks like I'm wearing right now, which made me feel like a superhero when I was wrestling, as some good luck charms, and it increased my performance in the ring. They were also meant to slide on the mat to prevent myself from getting mat burn, and because those mats were dirty, they really cleaned them, and they rarely cleaned them. I debuted those and got to perform in those. And after this, one of the cool things about being demoted was I hated being demoted. I didn't want to be demoted, but since I was now demoted, I had nothing left to fear. By this point, I hated the team, so I didn't care about them. I only cared about myself by this point, and I could wrestle. And I could finally be the wrestler I wanted to be the show-off wrestler I wanted to be, and go out there and have fun. And my performances increased, and finally earned the assistant coach, who was new and was unfamiliar with my previous history and didn't know why coach kept putting me against these monster of competitors. He finally saw how good I was when I made short work of the junior varsity competitors, just like the varsity competitors were doing to me. He saw I was a junior varsity wrestler, and I finally earned his respect, and he wanted to take me under his wing. I, however, was arrogant. That my second biggest flaw was arrogance. Now, your extreme arrogance, and because he previously disrespected me, I didn't want his help, and I thought I was better than I really was. But this is the wrestler I wanted to be. I became a show-off comedy wrestler who was more obsessed with having fun and just being a class clown at practice, But this is the wrestler I wanted. This is the wrestler I wanted to be. Wrestler I wanted to be, and it was fun. And it was fun. I was impressed with how much my skills have grown. And had I listened to him, I would have won and actually been JV champion. But I didn't care about the JV championship. And by this point, my work ethic was gone too. At this point, I wanted to be handed spots instead of earning them. I was in a position where I would take spots instead of earning them. So yeah, but the one thing the coach did, I also never forgave him for this, and I stayed mad at him up until the next year. It was region championship time. Because I lost so many matches, of course I ain't damn sure wasn't going to be chosen to wrestle in the region championship. The coach instead, he forfeited my spot. And this is another thing I hate him for. The coach, he always found time to find fault in my abilities and my shortcomings, but he never did it with anyone else. And he acted like only I was like this danger to the team, and only I lose on the team. I was this weak link. And he acted like his team was nothing but elites, and the elites on our team, they would never lose. They would never lose. And he always put his faith in the elites. And did nothing for the novices. Well, guess what? The novices lost, and then the elites, they lost too. And since I didn't wrestle, you lost even more points. They lost, but he still tried to find ways to blame me for the losses. And yes, he disgraced me by losing. He wouldn't let me on the varsity squad because I lost so many matches, but he still lost without me. What's your excuse for losing when I'm not there? And this continued from February 2007 into the next season, February of 2008. Him losing matches. He never ever again got first place. That county championship I mentioned was the last time they ever got first place against Tucker. Tucker kicked their butts all the time. Then later, it was even worse. So yeah, after that horrible season, I never wanted to wrestle again. However, senior year came. I did return to the team. However, this time I had a different attitude. This time I cared more about I care more about grades. I care more about grades and graduations, which the graduation part I regret because the graduation part, I'm going to mention more about it in my high school rant. But the graduation portion, I care more about grades, and I care more about the graduation part. I regret because half the people I graduate, most of the people I graduate with, I just don't talk to anymore. Several people I graduate with, I now hate and have beefs with now. And thirdly, half the people I graduated with, a lot of people I graduated with are now unfortunately deceased. So yeah. So I regret graduation. I regret that then my graduation was terrible, but I'll talk about that in another video. This is about wrestling. Then yeah. I was more concerned with grades first, and I was more concerned with grades and studying more. In my early career, in 10th grade, my grades started slipping because I focused more on wrestling and training than studying. But this time I studied more. If one bad grade, I immediately took time off. To get it back up. Or if there was a hard test or a hard paper to type, I immediately went home. And I immediately went home and typed. Typed it. So yeah. But anyway, the coach. What did the coach do? Oh yeah. So anyway, I came in 12th grade. I came in strong. JV beat Chambly and McNair to open the season. Open the season, and after that, I looked like I was going to qualify for varsity again. The next match was Shiloh and I think Stevenson. It was either Stevenson or MLK. I can't remember. Well, anyway, I wrestled one of those teams. The coach, before the match, he promised me I was varsity, but shortly before the match, he changed his mind. Before we went out there, he changed his mind and forced me to wrestle junior varsity. Not only that, the team forced me to, since it was a joint varsity and JV match, they forced me to leave my good luck charm socks. They forced me to leave them behind and wrestle without them. So I ended up losing because I was so mad of being demoted. Then they forced me to wrestle without my good luck charms, and I ended up losing. And after this, I quit the team without a later return. Another thing my coach did, my 11th grade year, that I forgot to mention. I mentioned it in the previous video, but I forgot to mention it here. Was there was one guy on my team. Who he was 1 year older than me. During my rookie year, he helped train and help me become a better wrestler. He trained and taught me the right way instead of bullying, hazing, instead of bullying, hazing, like bullying and hazing and trying to injure me like the other guys did, which is what the coach instructed him to do. Well, anyway, come my junior year, which was his senior year, this guy, he didn't want to wrestle. He wanted to retire and do soccer instead. The coach first of all punished me on my time. Punished me and the rest of the team on my time because he wasn't here. So he was worrying about a guy who wasn't here on my time, right? I was looking at it this way. That guy's a senior. He can do what he wants. He's proven himself. It's my time now. And I chose to be a good soldier and not challenge and bust his ass wide open for doing that. Number two, the worst. Then later, my coach had the audacity to sit up there and get a group of guys to force this guy to wrestle by jumping and kidnapping him at school and forcing him to actually wrestle. This guy, like a group of thugs and gangsters, jumped the guy. He didn't confront him man to man. He jumped him and forced him to wrestle. Literally forced the guy to wrestle. It's bad enough you do crap like that to rookies, but he tried to do this to a senior, a veteran. And then thirdly, he tried to do it again for the region championships, but the guy once again quit because you can't force someone to wrestle, and the coach abandoned all respect for him because he didn't want to wrestle this match. So all the championships he helped the team win and helped me become a better wrestler. And that's all of a sudden non and void. This is when I officially abandoned any respect I had for the team, any respect I had for the team. Then he tried to give me respect for not quitting the team, which I should have did. He tried to give me respect and come at me in the hallway. I hate that when a bully torments. They try to come later to talk to you and respect. I hate that. Get the fuck away from me. I cursed him out. In the hallway. My dad later forced me to come to the banquet and accept the lame participation trophy. Yeah, that's another thing. He tried to give me a lame participation trophy in place of what I wanted, which was the actual championship and the special achievement awards. The next team was what was next? So then I come back during the summer, and right here, this was my final straw. I made it. When I saw the wrestling schedule for the 2007 and 2008 year, which was senior year for me, my final year, I saw the big time Tucker and Redan match at the school. I decided if I'm not the top guy, I will do everything in my power to quit the team. I will do everything in my power to get thrown off the team or quit the team if I am not the top guy, because I was not losing in front of the school again. And come the summer, for some reason I had a sore arm, and when I was younger, I used to think wrestling with injuries was badass, macho, and tough, like the wrestlers on TV. And I was determined to earn the varsity spot. I later decided to stop doing this because I was only endangering myself more, and I wasn't going to get the spot. I later decided to stop doing that. But anyway, I was here wanting to wrestle. So I was here practicing again, and the guy I was wrestling, I lost numerous rounds to. I was sparring with, I lost numerous rounds to because of my arm. The coach had the audacity to sit up there. I'm sitting here hurt, trying to practice and wrestle. This guy dissed me more than ever by saying that guy was kicking my ass, and he's not fucking up the team by putting me on the team. He once again trying to find fault in my abilities and acting like I'm the reason for the team's failures, and only I lose and fail when this team has lost every single match since February of 2007. So he was there where I said, okay. It was there. I said, okay, that's when I quit the team. That's when I quit the team. That's when I quit the team. That's when I quit the team for good. And the next day I staged a fight. I instigated a fight between me and the star player, and since I got an adrenaline rush from fighting, the coach came in to break it up and told me I'm not here for the playing. I told him what I thought of him, and I gave him a middle finger. And I told him what I thought of him. I'm number 1 and you're number 11. And the coach tried to talk some sense to me, but I just kept cursing out, telling him I'll do what I want. So the coach then decided to throw me off the team, which I finally wanted. He saw that I wanted that, so instead he saw that I was scared to wrestle Tucker. So instead it went from being kicked off the team to being suspended. But I had no intentions of returning. I took a long absence away from wrestling. He made me so mad. I'd rather do math and science problems, and I scored high that year because I studied more and got most of my grades up. Because I studied more over wrestling. So then the big time match is approaching, and my bus was right there. I could have went there. I could have been a coward and went home, and I was gonna do that. But then I decided, no. My fans will be there, and I still cared. Despite my hatred of the team, I still cared about my fans and some of my friends on the team. Like, they will be there, and I decided, no, I'm the biggest star on this team. And I decided, for one last time, to win, to beat Tucker, and Renan one last time for my fans. My dad, I hate my dad for this. My dad had the gall had the audacity when I won, this win was for me, when I and my fans, when I won, beat Tucker for my fans and friends. My dad had to make that moment, which was about them, the school, and myself. He had the audacity to make it about himself, and he literally forced me to talk to and forgive the coach for every bad thing that SOB did to me. That SOB did to me, the bane of my existence, the guy who caused me so much harm. He had the audacity to force me to forgive. I still have a huge hatred and an estranged relationship with my dad for that, and want nothing to do with him as an adult for that garbage. Unless it is business, sports, shopping, or anything I want to do, I want nothing to do. I want little to do with my dad. That's not those things. That's not those things. I have a strange relationship with my dad and the rest of my family for this garbage right there. My dad for the past decade continued to bring these moments up like they were good moments, man. And it was because of him returning, I ended up losing 5 big matches, and ended up not winning the region championship because I had no way to prepare for the opponents I fought. I went into a fight I couldn't win. Every reason, I quit the team. Every bad thing happened. I took multiple L's because of my dad. I just want to go back to wrestling to redeem those last 5 matches, which were terrible. There were 2 losses to Fayetteville County, 2 losses to Fayetteville County, 2 losses to Fayetteville County. Then there were 2 more to Marist and Lakeside. The Lakeside one was the worst, as that guy pinned me in a couple of seconds. Seconds for the coach who got over there. So I have this illustrious career, but I got those 5 matches and losses, and the 5th one was a battle for an alternate spot against Cedar Grove, which I should not even take. I should have refused this one. Only top 4 go to the state. So it was there. I want to wrestle again just to redeem those 5 matches and rewrite that history. I don't want those 5 matches to be the last thing I do in amateur wrestling. So, and it's because of that incident why I'm glad a decade later, like I said, my coach, he crossed the wrong person. He crossed the current principal of my high school. So the principal decided to fire the coach and get rid of the wrestling team, which I'm sad a lot of the young people can't get the same opportunity as I did, but I'm happy that team is gone. I'm here again. If I can't have it, no one can. If what my coach did to me and multiple people, no one should ever do. I'm going to do multiple videos like this, but yeah. But that's it for now. You want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now. And once again, to see the previous one, the link will be in the description box below.
The man, you got him, and you can spot him every Thursday night on TNA. It's like a spotlight and main events in his DNA. Who you say? This Kurt Angle, Benito, Settle. Best in the world, only guy in this world with a gold medal. Feature both ends to the center. Physical and mental, cause he's simply better. No playing around with no second attacks. And lay it down for a 3-second nap on the mat. You staring at the ceiling on your back is appealing. Get yourself a match and you gon' do that. It's a rap, trapped in the game. You a rat in the maze, just a maze how I made my name. My fame is a runaway train on the track. I fight like my life's on the line every night. In fact, that's why I'm gonna take that strap.